Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video on sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. All right, and I have a very interesting TikTok, I want to show. All right, and I shared it in the group chat and everything. All right, but I actually went through and listened to it a couple times, and this is a very big possibility, man. All right, this is speculation through the spirit, but we see, as we, are the watchmen, and we, we're watching for the prophecies, we're watching the news reports and stuff like that, and we're measuring the time. All right, what I'm about to show can very well happen, and within the time span in which this chick is going to go into, with how things are speeding up, man. All right, we got the Passover coming on in a couple of days. All right, very spiritual time. We got the stocks crashing, we got the economy going down. All right, all at the same time, and this is beautiful. All right. But I have this video, once again, that I'm going to show, and I'll stop it periodically, but this could be the angle that they take that can very much kickstart Jacob's trouble, that could suspend the Constitution and, invoke martial law. All right. Because these things are within the scriptures. All right. Martial law is in the scriptures. The time of Jacob's trouble is within the scriptures, and that we're at the door of it for sure. So I have this right quick. I'm actually open up with this. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what they're about to do, man. Okay, they about to try to get Jake out the way, by way of these decrees and whatnot. It's legislation and shit. They try to use that power of the pen to justify using their sword. All right, so let's check this video out.
Provide a disclaimer for this video in telling you that this is essentially an op-ed piece based on a lot of fact and what I know about the current administration. I believe with 95% certainty that if the President of the United States and his administration are going to employ the use of martial law, it will happen as early as April 20th, 2025.
Let's stop it right there real quick. All right, because she's going to break it down. Bear with me. It's a long video, so we're gonna break it down. So she mentioned martial law, and them using this particular executive order, also using a particular crisis, so to speak, all right, to be able to enact martial law. And we'll go right to the point. In 2 Judges 15, in verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And we always bring out this scripture to, show that there's going to be a martial law. Right now, if you live in America, you can travel across state lines and whatnot, pretty much freely. If you go into, like here, I'm in South Carolina. If I was to go to Georgia, you can cross those state lines, and there's no physical barrier. There's you'll see the sign welcome to Georgia or whatever, right? Well, when martial law gets declared, they're going to have checkpoints. They're going to have militarized checkpoints. All right. And without certain clearance, you're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to move in and out. You're not going to be able to cross state lines. You're not going to be able to go within FEMA zones. All right. So people are going to be rendered pretty much stuck, So that's what this is going into. Verse 17 again, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So they're not going to be able to, hey, you got your loved ones, they're in the city limits and you outside the city. All right, hey, you stuck like Chuck, man. And that's why we, these things like this could scare you. All right, but see, we're not shaken in mind by these things. We know that the Lord is in full control. I mean, say in the event that we are separated from our immediate family when all hell breaks loose, all right, the Lord can guide us to each other again, man. You know, the Lord is protecting his men. All right. And for those, you know, certain men that might have families, if the Lord's will is to protect them as well, they're going to be protected, man. Nobody's going to get hurt that the Lord doesn't ordain. Nobody's going to get hurt or taken or destroyed by accident, man. All right. All this, everything that's about to happen is very much intentional, and it was very much planned out from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord declared the end from the beginning. Okay. Verse 18, but for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there's going to be famines going on. There's going to be chaos in the streets. There's going to be all type of shit happening that can further invoke, you know, that martial law. You know, and there's different ways they could go about it. But this is just an angle. All right, with this video that we're going into, this is an angle that in which they could take. Also, is in 2 Ezra 16, it speaks about, you know, there being in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Okay? A great insurrection. You know? So let's continue on.
If you would like to check my work on this, please see the executive order that was signed by Donald Trump on January 20th, 2025, declaring a national emergency at the southern border of the United States. You are then going to scroll down to section 6, and specifically I want you to look at 6B.
See, they ain't going to put this shit in the front. They're going to put this shit all in the, it's because most people don't read. There are people that actually go through and read these different executive orders, but because he was spitting these shits out so fast that people probably weren't going in there and actually looking at what's written therein. But now people are starting to look into it. So this is section 6 of this particular executive order.
But let's talk about the reporting requirement. Section 6A, the reporting requirement says that within 30 days of the date of this proclamation, the Secretary of Defense, please remember that is one Pete Hegseth, shall submit to the President through the Homeland Security Advisor a report outlining all actions taken to fulfill the requirements and objectives of this proclamation, and hold right there for a minute.
All right, so within 30 days, so I'm pretty sure that 30-day window has already pretty much passed, all right, for them to report. But also there's more. So it says and, so it goes to the section B.
Within 30 days, this report was due, which means Secretary Hegseth submitted a report already. That date would have been February 19th, 2025. Section B is where the main concern lies. Within 90 days of the date of this proclamation, again, that would be April 20th, 2025, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, that would be Kristi Noem, shall submit a joint report to the President about the conditions of the southern border of the United States and any recommendations regarding additional actions that may be necessary to obtain complete operational control of the southern border, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. A quick search reveals that the Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law that empowers the President of the United States to deploy the U.S. military and federalized National Guard troops within the United States in particular circumstances, such as to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion.
See? All right now. All right, I know it was a lot, but let me go back just a tad.
A quick search reveals that the Insurrection Act of the United States and
so they put this in the executive order. I'm pretty sure it's public information. I'm pretty sure you can go and look this up. Okay. So it says that. So if they're not within this 90-day period, so that last day would be April 20th, all right, which would be next month. If they haven't pretty much secured that border and have control over that border, which more than likely they won't, it says what? Says at the southern border of the United States, and any recommendations regarding additional actions that may be necessary to obtain complete operational control of the southern border, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. Now, once again, she's about to go into what the Insurrection Act of 1807 is.
recommendations regarding additional actions that may be necessary to obtain complete operational control of the southern border, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. A quick search reveals that the Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law that empowers the President of the United States to deploy the U.S. military and federalized National Guard troops within the United States in particular circumstances, such as to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion.
Okay. So they can do this through by way of this, saying that the southern border isn't under control. They could also do this, invoke the Insurrection Act under, it says what, civil?
Whether Trump would invoke the
Let's see. Let me go back a little bit. Damn. It's lucky.
Insurrection Act of 1807 at a national level or just at the southern border is unclear in the document. I will say that the deportation effort of illegals has been a nationwide concern and effort, so it would not be surprising to me if this was a nationwide invocation. The last time the Insurrection Act was invoked was in 1992 during the Los Angeles riots. It was also used during the Civil Rights Movement to enforce the desegregation of schools. But what does this look like if it is invoked? Well, once invoked, the president can deploy active duty military personnel or federalized National Guard troops to any area he deems affected. And we would see Army, National Guard, and Air Force units, which include troops, vehicles, helicopters, drones, and specialized units in our towns and cities. There are also cybersecurity units that could be used, and given the technological...
So they can go in there and just straight up declare this shit, man. All right. Now, whether they do it, we don't know. But they have the means to do it. See, also another thing, you have these protesters coming out and protesting the government itself. An insurrection is an uprising pretty much against the government. An insurrection, a rebellion. All right, even Trump supporters, MAGA, all right, they're starting to look at Trump sideways, man. So this could be invoked. This year. This could be invoked within the next month, man. If they're gonna do it under the guidelines of this executive order in particular, okay. This Insurrection Act has already been up, but why did they include this into this particular executive order on day one of him getting into office? They didn't wait on that. They signed that one right away. Things that make you go,
landscape of today. This would be different than anything we had seen before. Cyber warfare could play a role in disrupting any online communication or coordination related to insurrection efforts. So do not be surprised if this is enacted, if social media goes down completely.
See? If social media goes down completely, what's that? What have we not been speaking about this potentially coming to pass? All right, these executive orders and shit, these decrees that he's putting out could very much, hey, Trump is that guy, man, Lord willing. All right, Trump may very well be that guy that the Lord has set up to bring the end of Babylon the Great, man. And it would be beautiful. Not Isaiah 8, I need Amos 8 and 11. Right, it says, and behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Okay. It would suspend the First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment. That first one is that so-called right to free speech. All right. So it's going to be heavy censorship on the internet. All right. We post up on the internet. Our videos definitely coming down. But also it's going to be censorship on the streets, which means what? Hey, it's going to be illegal for us to be out, still speaking, still preaching. And she mentioned religion and stuff like that, man.
Of course, the Insurrection Act does allow the military to engage in non-lethal force against the United States citizens. Things like tear gas.
They're gonna make it lethal. They're gonna completely do away. And they're also it's also possible they can have foreign troops here, man. But this is the enact of the U.S. military.
sound cannons, rubber pew-pews, if you will. Last but not least, the Insurrection Act, if invoked, would suspend our First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights, which I'm going to read to you word for word so you understand how serious this would be. First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And this means that our social media would likely be down or completely infiltrated with government
only information. So you know what that means? This truth will not be on the internet much longer, man. This is why the scriptures say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return to the Lord. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. These scriptures that we always bring out. All right, the time is coming. All right, hey, this is on TikTok, man. Time is short. All right, our salvation is nearer than when we believe, as the scriptures say, man. This thing can deteriorate real quick.
Only information, and we would not necessarily have the right to access any information from the press. Amendment 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, the person or things to be seized. That means they could freely walk into your home, seize you, arrest you, basically whatever it is that they deemed necessary.
See? Let's see. Yep, here we go. This is 2 Esdras chapter 16. Right, and we'll go right to the point. Verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. They're going to try to come and snatch some of us up, throw us in prison and whatnot. Verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. All right, because there's going to be those that try to consent unto this devil in the system, and they're going to be, hey, they still going to get fucked up, man. You know? We're going to trust in Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. We're not going to take the MOTB. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, and if we believe through the spirit that Trump is Nero, you know, hey, he could very much, burn Rome down again. All right, this is modern Rome, and blame the Jews, blame the Israelites, blame the Christians. You know, he could blame the Israelites, man, because now he's trying to come up against the Northern Kingdom. You know, and they have legislation out here to be able to do it. So this executive order, you know, and the enactment of martial law is surrounding, you know, really the Northern Kingdom, because they say, you know, they're not doing it for Canada's border. You know, they doing tariffs and shit like that, but you know, they're trying to get the northern tribes, man, which are Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So, hey, there's going to be a great insurrection, a great uprising, you know. That's why we're going to need protection from on high. Verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right, they're going to be like madmen. All right, it ain't going to be no, hey, the Lord's going to put that hateful spirit back upon these damn devils, man. It says, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. See, that's going to be the time where it's made known who the Lord is dealing with, man. By who's going to be getting taken by these different devices that are going to be going on all around us, and who's going to be protected. The elect are going to be protected and hid from these things, man. All right, but the 2/3, they're going to be taken. So it says what? They shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So that's a part of this, you know, in this Insurrection Act of 1807, of what it entails. And that's, I think, what she say, the Fourth Amendment?
Amendment 5 writes in a criminal case, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor
See,
shall
if we
any
in a time of war or public danger, this isn't going to apply to where you go, you know, if they trying to pin a crime on you, you know, you get charged before a grand jury. You know, there's a jury and shit. All right, but see, now they're going to have these summary executions. Just Friday in South Carolina, you know, they carried out a firing squad. All right, them fire and summary executions are going to come. Okay, so they're going to do away. It'll do away with freedom of speech, so to speak. So bye-bye to the social media, bye-bye to the internet, bye-bye to, you know, they're going to censor everything. The Fourth Amendment, right, they're going to be able to come into your fucking home, man. You know, you're not going to own shit. They're going to be able to come in and take your shit. And that's where they're going to be met with a lot of resistance, because these Edomites aren't going to lay down easy, man. That's where your civil war is about to come from, man. That's where your uproars are about to come from. And then the Fifth Amendment will be concerning this, you know, your trial.
person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due.
To deprive people of life. They about to do away with the Constitution, man, because these are some of the amendments that hit the hardest, that these Edomites hold on to the hardest, that made America the so-called free country that it was supposed to be. They can do away with it. All right, with the stroke of a pen, with the you know, with a tweet, with an announcement. That's how fast the thing is about to flip on its head.
Process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Now, I understand that was a mouthful, but that means they could take away due process of law. They could also take away eminent domain, which means they could take our private property to use as their own. This is a lot of information to digest. If you've made it this far, thank you. Please let me know.
Use of eminent domain. So, you know, she broke it down, you know, made it plain for the most part. Lord willing, I made it plain upon tables, you know, and this is what's coming. If the Lord puts it in his spirit. Once again, he's becoming less and less popular by the day. He signed this and everybody was loving him for the most part on January 20th. But now that things have been happening, he's been in office a couple weeks, you know, over a month and stuff, and see how things are moving. Hey, his popularity is dwindling. Before he loses power, before he gets kicked out of power or anything like that, he'll enact that shit, man. And he'll have the full use of the U.S. military, even if Congress or whoever doesn't fucking want him to. All right, we'll see, man. All right, it's getting real. But that's what, like I mentioned earlier, man. Our salvation is nearer than what we believe, man. Tying this to, if you're looking at this from a spiritual lens and seeing where we are in prophecy, we don't got another year of just normalcy here, man. The way things are moving so quickly. So this could very well happen by April 20th. Hey, they could enact this shit, you know, on Thursday or Friday, man. There's a government shutdown that they're about to try to avert, which, hey, Lord willing, they allow the government to actually shut down because they have this whole Doge thing, you know. Hopefully they're not able to come to an agreement, and they, you know, they're systematically shutting this place down, and they're gonna reopen it under a one world currency, man. That's why, you know, Trump is trying to be that crypto king, man. So we see it. We see it coming from a mile away. And Thawadi Habashim al-Shah for giving us the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You know, and to hearken unto his word, to hearken and take heed unto the warning. Because there's a lot of people out here that are about to be like a damn deer in headlights, man. Here it is. We're all seeing this shit going down. But these people, they just don't want to believe it. They can't, you know, wrap their mind around America not being on top. But that's exactly what's about to happen. All right, America's being dethroned. So we'll see. You know, this is it's a very important piece of information. All right, we're gonna see if he what they do surrounding this, man. So that's a date to look out for. We don't really, you know, trust in these dates so much, but once again, they put it within their legislation. You know, they have a timeline. So we'll see, man. Things could pop off. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakudash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.